Well, Matt, it's a rebuilding year for Missouri. We know that, but they cannot be satisfied with a 7-12 record in which they've lost a number of tight games. However, tonight they host number 1 Kentucky.
Yeah, that's right, Joey. And in the first game in Lexington, the Kentucky Wildcats held the Tigers to a season-low 37 points. Tonight, the Tigers look to pick up their first victory ever against the Wildcats in an electric crowd at Mizzou Arena.
Despite Truman's roaring entrance, it was Kentucky who jumped out to an early lead. The Wildcats shot only 1 for 4 from 3 in the first half, but used their domineering size to attack the basket and control the boards, shooting over 50% from the field and a +8 rebounding margin. Understandably, the Mizzou coaching staff were quite upset with their team's flat start and lack of defensive intensity, but it was sophomore guard Wes Clark who took control, threading the needle a couple of times to the somewhat forgotten big man Ryan Rosberg, who finished with 8 points on 25 minutes in a strong showing. Keith Schamberger was then able to find a cutting Jakeenan Gant to light up the crowd once again.
Missouri Tigers Hall of Fame point guard Melvin Booker's son Devin chose Kentucky over Mizzou, but the Tigers had no hard feelings towards the freshman guard and invited him to the block party anyways. Keanu Post just obliterates his could-have-been teammate for one of the greatest plays of Missouri's season. The crowd at Mizzou Arena was fired up for the entire first half, but at the break, Kentucky still held a 9-point lead.
Unlike the first meeting between these two, the Tigers were able to string together a couple of nice runs as they weren't going to go down without a fight. The likes of Jonathan Williams III and Wes Clark relieved some pressure offensively with some timely threes. Clark led the game in scoring with 19 points and in minutes with 35 after a heartbreaking end to last weekend's game against Arkansas, where he missed a pair of late free throws to potentially win it for Mizzou.
The Tigers made one final push to try and stop the nation's most talented team. Here, Keith Schamberger picks the pocket of Willie Cauley-Stein and pushes it to Clark, who misses a layup, but Williams follows closely behind to finish the play.
Unfortunately for the Tigers, however, John Calipari's men rallied behind their Harrison brothers. Aaron Harrison buried a shot from 17 feet off the dribble before Andrew coolly swished his shot to kill any momentum building inside Mizzou Arena.
Both teams combined for 16 fouls in the first 7 minutes of the second half, which prevented either from gaining momentum and resulted in 44 second-half free throws. In the end, the Tigers' size and ability were simply outmatched by the Wildcats. Kentucky's depth propelled them yet again. Their bench outscored Missouri's 30-15. The Tigers dropped their 6th straight game and fell to 7-13 on the season.
Well, Mizzou put up a good fight in the first half and even led for portions of the game, but ultimately the Kentucky Wildcats were just too good and they ended up on top in this one.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. Wes Clark scored 13 of his 19 points to do all he could to keep the Tigers in this one. But in the end, the touch foul calls slowed the game down and allowed Kentucky to seize control of this one.
Next up for the Tigers is on January 31st when the Ole Miss Rebels come to Columbia. Tip-off set at 3 p.m. From Mizzou Arena, I'm Matt Horn.
I'm Joey Gjata, 23 Sports.